Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first-time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.
Peace! Today is Friday, October 18th, making today's math.
Knowledge build destroy, all being born to born.
That's Digga shit, man. All being born to born. That's right. Use your knowledge to build on the positive and destroy the negative and manifest great things. Bring great things into existence. Peace. Peace! Welcome back to Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got Team Yanadameen in the house right about this time. Live studio audience, make some noise. And right about this time, we have our special guest in the house from the nation of gods and earths. We have Born Mastermind Allah. Peace to the God.
Peace to the God.
Clap it up.
Peace, Queen.
Peace, God.
Now, the God is here today to discuss a form of building, a form of nation building, shall we say, in the form of the knowledge of a tribal government and how a tribal government is formed, why you would want to form one, the benefits of such tribal government. So please take the floor, tell us about what you brought to me, and I had the privilege of going to a meeting and sitting down and really seeing what it's about, and felt like this is something that the people need to hear, know about. So, Bill, God.
Thank you, my brother, for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
And Queen. Well, again, my name is Born Mastermind Allah. I'm the founder of Nation Business Builders, which is an organization dedicated to the socio-political and economic growth and development of the black community. And when I say black, I mean, so-called African-American, Hispanic, Caribbean, West Indian, African, the whole thing. I'm also the founder of Allah's 5% Nation of God and Earth tribal government, which is an aboriginal nation state. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that right here within this country, there are over 550 autonomous tribal nation states that are federally recognized for so-called Native Americans. Now, out of those 550 federally recognized autonomous nation states, a vast majority of them are Mongoloid, so-called Native American Indian. Now, the term Indian is a misnomer. According to Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, the term Indian only means indigenous North American, right? Somebody who's native to this part of the world. Now, we as black people, we have the archaeological, paleontological, epigraphic, phenotypic, genetic, as well as eyewitness accounts of evidence and proof that we are the indigenous and aboriginal people of the entire planet, including this part of the world that we call North America. So we are the natives.
True indeed.
Right? We don't call ourselves Indians because, again, that's a misnomer. However, we are the aboriginal people of this part of the world, like the entire planet. We were here before anyone else, including the Mongoloid so-called Native American Indian. Therefore, we have the ability to claim our nationality. So what we've done, because we can trace our bloodline back to the Olmec, Mayan, or Shi civilization, we can also trace our bloodlines back to those West Alkebulan or West African Moors who came here prior to European colonization, also mixed with the Aboriginals who were already here and formed governments and established civilizations and so on and so forth. So therefore, based on international law, we have the right to formulate our own tribal government and claim our nationality because we had civilizations and governments prior to anyone else being here. So in doing so, a group of us from a lost 5% nation of God and earth, we formed a plebiscite. And what a plebiscite is when a group of people come together to take a vote. Now you can vote on changing a part of the Constitution or discarding the Constitution altogether, claiming your nationality or choosing a nationality, and that's what we've done. Now, according to the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, 1 states that everyone has a right to a nationality, and 2, no one shall be arbitrarily denied their right to a nationality or their right to change their nationality. So that's what we've done. We've come together and have taken that vote. And the importance of nationality, we know as black people in this country, we have been denationalized.
Right. Black is not a nationality.
Black is not a
everybody,
nationality.
Just to let you know.
Right. There's no nation called black.
Right.
Right. African American is not a nationality.
No.
There's no nation called African America. So if you ask someone from Germany what their nationality is, they'll say German. Right. You ask someone from China what their nationality is, they'll say China. Someone from Spain, they'll say their nationality is Spanish. Right. Even those who are on the so-called African continent, if you ask them their nationality, they're not going to say African. Even if they consider themselves African, there are 54 nation states on that continent.
Ghanaian, Tanzanian.
Right, exactly. Kenya, Nigerian, or they may give you their indigenous tribal name, Igbo or Jollof, so on and so forth. So again, that's what we've done. We've claimed our nationality to live out our culture, which is a lost 5% nation of God and earth. Now, one thing before we move on, a lot of people ask, in claiming your nationality and forming your own autonomous government, do you have to give up your United States citizenship? That's a big question that's asked. And first of all, technically, we are U.S. nationals. That's number one. And the answer is no. You do not have to give up your United States nationalism. You don't have to give up your social security card, your birth certificate, your passport if you desire not to. There's a thing called dual nationality and dual citizenship. So we can operate in our own cultural, tribal, indigenous nation state and still have dual nationality at the same time. So, as we move on in the conversation, we'll discuss the benefits.
Well, I was just
going
to get right into that because
I don't know. I was looking for my pen. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I thought of a question or two as well.
Well, if you'd like to go ahead, but I was going to first of all, I was going to say what are some of the benefits to number one, to forming a tribal government. 2, is this something that you have to be a 5%er to do? Like, can anyone do this? Let's start with those 2 things right there.
Great question. Well, the benefits are self-government, right? We all have an issue at times with certain rulings and court systems that we didn't agree with. We get out into the streets in March. Or we have issue with, police brutality, police terrorism. We have an issue with the educational system. When you practice self-government, you're not putting the responsibility in somebody else's hand. You're doing it yourself. What a lot of people are not aware of is that these 550 federally recognized, because there are tribal governments that are not federally recognized. You don't have to be federally recognized. They have their own court systems. They have their own police force. They have their own school systems and hospitals. So as opposed to allowing someone to build something for us that may not be in our best interest, we have the authority and the ability to do it ourselves. So that's the benefit of self-government.
It also allows us, if I'm not mistaken, to credential our own people.
Absolutely.
In different fields. So when we have our Dr. Sadie's, who they try to say is not a real doctor,
right,
we can credential him as a real doctor under our
jurisdiction.
However we see fit as, giving out those credentials.
Absolutely.
You actually asked part of my question, because one of my questions was the people that come together. Is that, can that be anyone? Like, who determines who the people are that are coming together?
For the plebiscite?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, just generally speaking, if you can trace your history back, as we have, the evidence is all over. And again, it's in books, it's in museums, so some people know our history more than us. So any group of people can come together and form a plebiscite and choose their nationality based off of international law. That can be done. In terms of our plebiscite, it's for a lost 5% nation of God and earth, those of us that came together. However, it's open to anyone who wants to learn the culture or simply learn how to practice their autonomy through self-government, then they can join us as well and support, and we'll, show them how to do that as well.
Okay. One more question. I'm sure I'll have more, but now, once you are, once you're this official, your own standing government, are you allowed to say to like the public school system, like, no, under my law, my child isn't, you know how they have their school laws, like, oh, you missed 5 days, the parent has to go to court. Like, are you allowed to say, well, under my nationality, my child isn't obligated to attend
vaccines,
school.
all of that.
Right.
That's a good question. When you are in your jurisdiction, once you establish your own jurisdiction, then you create the laws of the land according to your constitution of your nation state. Now, if you're in their jurisdiction, you're still under their rule of law. So the schools that we design and develop, obviously, is going to be based for us. It's going to have our rules. So
there'll be private schools as opposed to this at home. When you teach at home schooling and all that, you're still under the jurisdiction of the government, so they give you the curriculum and all that type of shit.
Yeah, that's still
that's
still a form of
they
public
can't
school.
tell you what the curriculum is or nothing like that.
Right.
Correct.
Let's talk about some of the tax benefits, maybe. That's something that's attractive to the people. Let's talk about that.
Well, according to the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, indigenous people are not to be taxed. So when you establish your business, you register businesses under your jurisdiction, you purchase home or property under your jurisdiction, there's no sales tax, there's no property tax. You can even go into different stores, whether it's it could be Home Depot or Walmart, and you have your indigenous identification on you. You can also get things that have no sale tax as well. So these are definitely the tax benefits, because again, being that we were here, running governments and running our own civilizations, and people came and disrupted that, there's no right, even according to their law constitutionally, for them to try to tax, what it is that we are doing.
Okay.
So let me ask you something on a different level. What do you say to, because you always got people out here that want to say stuff that when they're not a part of something. What do you say to some of the gods out here that might be claiming that you're trying to start your own new nation or something like that? What do you say to them?
Right. Well, it's interesting. It's not a new nation. It's a lost 5% nation of God and earth. The tribal government is what I'm offering to my nation. It's an opportunity for them to claim their nationality and be able to interface with the rest of the world according to their own cultural standard, as opposed to having to be, God supreme, and then going to court and you're Jeffrey Barnes, or going into other people's jurisdiction and have to follow their rules that doesn't align with our culture. So I'm establishing something for a lost 5%. Again, you don't have to be a part of it. This is voluntary. We're not saying this is being forced on anyone, but it's open for those that want to be able to claim their nationality and be a part of it.
That's peace. So I know part of this. So what's some of the basic, foundational things that someone would need? You need to start a plebiscite, so that you put a group. Don't you need a constitution?
You need a constitution.
Tell us some of these requirements.
Definitely.
The basic requirements.
Basic, like how you got here.
To start your own tribal government.
Absolutely. There's really no basic requirements other than your body politic, which is your group of people. You need a flag so you can be recognized, and a constitution, which is the laws that you go by. That's all you need. Now, you can give notice to other principalities to let them know you exist, so you don't appear to be some, subversive or terrorist group or something like that. So you can let people know, hey, this is who we are, and this is how we're going to interface with you from this point on. And you don't have to ask permission. A lot of people think you have to fill out some, paperwork or some application and say, can you give me my nationality? No, we've been doing this for thousands, millions, some say billions and trillions of years, so we don't have to, ask for permission.
You declare it.
You declare it, and you let people know. And even out of those 550 nation states, although a lot of them may not look like us, there are still those that are practicing, and there are some who may not be federally recognized, like ARNA, for instance, the Aboriginal Republic of North America, that's headed by a good brother named Dr. Ali Muhammad. Research that brother, study everything he puts out. He's a good brother. He's very beneficial, and me getting to where I am today, so I give much respect to that brother. And this is something that's available to all of us.
So I remember hearing something that maybe like 3 other nations have to acknowledge your nation in order to be what?
This is if you want to be recognized at the United Nations.
There you go.
Right. Okay. As we speak, we have, a member who's been at the United Nations, who's been there all week, for the 74th anniversary of the Grand Assembly. So if you want to be recognized at the United Nations, which we will have United Nations representation, then you have to have, like you said, 3 nations acknowledge you. Now, they don't have to be enormous or large nations.
Right.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Lauryn Hill was convicted, when she served her jail time, it was behind evasion of taxes. But part of her argument was, I'm a sovereign state. I don't owe you taxes.
That's a great question. And because I want to...
Is that a legitimate defense?
Not at all. And I want to stress, this is not sovereign citizen ideology. That does not work.
3C and all of that.
That does not work. You get out there with that madness. There's some people who swift with the lingo.
That's what got Wesley locked up.
That's what I'm saying. There's some people who's nice with it who can get over on some people who's not as sophisticated, but ultimately that does not work. You need a body politic. It takes a group of people that's sovereign citizen, don't mess with it. We don't deal with that. This is based off of international law, and first and foremost, universal law, because, as the original people, there's no one who can tell us how to carry out our culture. But based on international law, when you deal with the League of Nations, it's completely lawful.
So, what do we do to take this to the next step? What's the next level for this? I know there's a firm that specializes in this, yes?
Indeed. There is a firm, by my brother who I mentioned, Dr. Ali Muhammad, Aboriginal Republic of North America, who specializes in structuring and assisting in structuring nations and so on and so forth. And again, they've been very, assisting to us as well. But the next step is for us to get out here and do it. We realize that we have institutions that we have to build. We have agricultural initiatives, right? There is a science on agriculture that's unique to the biology of original black people. So we wonder why we're getting sick, but we're consuming food from everybody else that's grown specific for their biology. We understand that we are in a different place economically, so we have to construct different economic systems than where other people are. We're trying to put ourselves in an economic system that's built for someone else, and that's why we keep coming up last. That's why we're not getting the private equity at the level we should get, or the bank loans we should get. These things that these are things we have to do ourselves. So I'm number one, encouraging all those who are or claim to be a part of a lost 5% nation of God and earth to contact me, join our plebiscite so they can claim their nationality along with us, and correspond and speak to the rest of the world, interface with the rest of the world with who they are and their cultural standing. Right. So my information is there, how to reach me. Right? I can be reached at bmastermind@nationbusinessbuilders.com. That's the letter B, mastermind@nationbusinessbuilders.com. If you're not a part of the 5% Nation of God and Earth. Still contact me if you're interested in learning about the culture, if you're interested in learning about how to form a plebiscite, how to form a tribal government or nation state. Again, you can reach me at bmastermind@nationbusinessbuilders.com, or if you simply just want to support and donate to our initiatives, our agriculture initiatives, our initiatives to build the educational systems that we need, that's beneficial to our people in the state that we're in.
He's building on the science of heirloom seeds.
Heirloom seeds, absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
maybe tell them about that real quick. How much time we have?
Right. Well, we're in a war, right? We're in a war against the black seed. Right, and most original seeds are black or they're dark, and even if they appear white, they turn black or dark when they're ready to reproduce. There's a war on the black seed all around the board. So now you're going into the store. When I was a little boy, all oranges had seeds.
Right.
Now you can barely find a bag of oranges that has seeds.
Seedless watermelons.
Seedless watermelons been a thing for the last decade or so.
Seedless grapes.
So. What we have done is we started a seed bank with our heirloom seeds, which are the closest to the original seeds as you could possibly get. We've started seed banks, with our agriculture initiative, so we can grow these foods ourselves and then continue to reproduce them. So, so again, if you want to support these initiatives, be a part of it, contact me. My information again is behind me. You can Cash App us at $NB Builders. That's $N as a nation, B as in business, $NB Builders. You can PayPal us at nationbusinessbuilders@gmail.com, and we will be building the institutions that's necessary for us to go to the next level.
Right, and now we're not going to be taking money and running off and all this crazy shit.
Not at all.
Like some of our brothers are sometimes accused of doing.
Yes, we're gonna give our brothers a chance to show and prove.
Are you in different states, or are you how?
Well, I'm connected to the 9 regions. If you understand 5% culture, we have what's considered 9 regions, which is all throughout the country.
Allah is seen and heard everywhere.
So we definitely have people throughout the entire country. We even have associations and allies throughout the world, globally, on a continent as well. So.
No, I don't mean the 5% nation. I mean
through Nation Business Builders.
Okay,
right.
Like that are claiming that as their official nationality.
Absolutely, through Nation Business Builders, which, again, Allah's 5% Nation is our tribal nation state. Nation Business Builders is our community organization in which we use to advance the socio-political and economic growth and development of our community.
Now, if you're a 5% or not, you just told all the people to contact you.
Absolutely.
To get more information. But if you're a 5%er, what would be like the first step to being able to claim, or do they have to contact you and go through the motions to claim this as their nationality?
If they would like to formulate their own tribal government, they could do that as well. I don't have the monopoly on it. They could do it as well.
Oh.
But what I can say is we already have the plebiscite together. We have our constitution, so we have already moved forward. And we're doing this for the nation. So this is not something we're doing for ourselves, or we would have just named it something else. We would have just did it under Nation Business Builders. But we're doing that specifically for the nation. And we can also, again, offer this to other people who may, have a different ideology or philosophy. They can still join us, and we can still assist them in building their own plebiscites and tribal governments as well.
Well, this is definitely, some information that I think is important. This is the type of stuff that,
We talk about this all the time, about building our own and
listen, and these are the steps. These are the steps
to
doing
real
it.
Way to do it.
Like for real. Like you can talk the talk or you can walk the walk, And there's a lot of people that love to talk. When it comes to doing the wisdom as far as the action part of wisdom, it's missing. And that's why you never have an understanding. You never have that ultimate flesh created. You know, they get
tangibles.
Yeah, the tangibles.
And that's what it's about. You can blame people, but so far you can march, you can demand people give you this or that, you can cry about the verdict didn't go the way, you can cry about the school systems, or you can do what we've always done before any of these people ever existed, and that's build it ourselves. And a lot of people are not aware, but now those who are watching this are aware that even lawfully, according to international law, you have the right to do this. So yes, you can establish your own government and nation state and be autonomous and self-govern.
Now, one more thing I wanted to address before we go.
You just echoed everything I ever say in life ever. And I'm just saying, I'm just so tired of like people being mad. Just like, you gotta stop being mad and move forward.
Right. Well, this kind of addresses that in a way. But so when I met with you, you know, in Harlem, you know, the room that we met in was inside of the Scientology building.
Correct.
Right. And I had some brothers that, you know, tried to kind of throw that, oh, y'all meeting in the Scientology building, like. Does this have anything to do with Scientology?
We're not connected to Scientology any way, shape, or form. What that building is, it's a Harlem community center that they built, right? So they must be getting some city-state funding, so they have to open it to the general public. Anybody could have walked in that building and used that room. It's just that we don't have the information. And obviously, this is why I'm doing this. We must get to the point and the position where building these things for ourselves and not having to use anyone else's building. But again, because they're using state or city money, I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it's open to the public and it's a Harlem community center that's built by them. But,
right.
So,
well, I am going to say I don't trust that building. And I said it when I was there.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And shit, we here at the Black Lady Theater, black owned. I'm just saying.
So,
you know what I mean?
Question.
We might want to bring those meetings here.
Now, would you be able to purchase property, you know, whether it's owned by the state, the government, what have you, and typically they're expecting property taxes and things of that nature. Would you be able to purchase these things under?
Absolutely. You'd be able to you'd be able to purchase it, not only purchase it
and not owe them their annual taxes.
Right, because it wouldn't be owing them at that point.
You have to register the property as within the jurisdiction.
Got
you see what I'm saying?
Yep. And not only can you do that, you can convert a property that you already own into our jurisdiction and no longer pay the property taxes.
That you've been paying tax on already.
Right.
Doesn't have to be a new property. Well, listen, God.
Oh, that was great.
This is great. Once again, give the gods give people your website and where to contact you before we get out of here.
Definitely, contact me again. All those who are members of a lost 5% nation of God and earth, we want you to join our plebiscite so we can claim our nationality together as a body politic.
It's not something new.
You can reach me at bmastermind@nationbusinessbuilders.com. That's the letter B, mastermind@nationbusinessbuilders.com. Even if you're not a part of the 5% and you want to learn more about the culture, you want to be a part of what we're doing, contact me as well. And even if you don't want to be a part of what we're doing, but you understand how vital and important it is and you want to support, then again, you can Cash App us at $NB Builders or PayPal us at nationbusinessbuilders.com.
All right, well, once again, for Yanadameen Godcast, I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga Digga.
Peace.